weeks ago, you were at Sundance promoting Interior Leather Bar and just a couple other indie films, and you had this. Now you're just here promoting this big mainstream film. I'm curious, like in terms of balancing your career at this point, where is that kind of balance come for you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess I do think in terms of balance in some ways. I know that if I do a certain kind of film, it buys me some capital to do other kinds of things, and that if there is variety, it makes things more powerful. That if I just stuck to the indie world, that I'd be in a niche. But the fact that I am in these different worlds gives the whole kind of project more power.
Sure.
But I'd say the overall drive is just to work on things that I'm interested in and work with people I like.
Sure. And what's interesting is just as a director, I mean, are you now that you've started making your own features, are you starting to focus more on the directors that you're working with, both in the sense of who you're working with and how they work?
Yes, in the sense that when I only acted, put so much pressure on the roles in the movies I did because it was my only outlet.
Right.
Now that I direct my own films, I don't need to control the movies that I act in.
Right.
I see movies as a director's medium. And so when I sign on as an actor, I want to help the director achieve her vision. And so that means I only want to sign on to movies with directors whose vision I believe in.
Sure.
So in that sense, I'm very director-driven.
Okay. And this is the fourth film that you've done with Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Would you say that he is an influence on, just in terms of the way you direct, the way you handle a production?
Yes, I'll tell you what I'd take from Sam, or the talents I find particular to him. He is a great epic storyteller. He can use special effects. He develops, cutting-edge special effects, that, and in his movies are the first time some things are ever seen.
Yeah.
But he is great at balancing that with great performances. He spends as much time with the actors and on sculpting the narrative and crafting these performances as he does the other stuff. And so if you look at, the Spider-Man films, it's very much that case, and here I think it's the case as well. The movies I've directed don't really have that many special effects,
this is true.
but I do try and balance my energies between how the film is shot and sculpted and shaped and the performances. The other great thing, and it sounds like a small thing, or it's something that if you're not in the filmmaking business, maybe you don't really think about that much, but his on-set behavior and persona is so warm, so fun to be around, that everybody loves coming to work.
Right.
And that's no small thing, I think it translates to the performances on the screen. It translates to you really feel it on the screen, and that comes from the director.